War of the Roses so far? Keep up. So we have Henry VI, who is the King of England and a Lancastrian, but he's not doing a very good job as king, and lots of people think this. One person who thinks this is Richard, Duke of York. He thinks he should be king, so he decides to take them on, and this begins the War of the Roses. The first battle is the Battle of St. Albans, which the Yorkists win. Then there's lots more battles, lots more betrayal, and eventually we have the Battle of Wakefield, where Richard, Duke of York, is unalived. But don't worry if you're a Yorkist, because Richard's son, Edward, takes up the mantle and decides he wants to be king. So, at the Battle of Towton, Edward defeats Henry VI and becomes Edward IV, King of England. He becomes king, but things aren't that amazing because his main supporter, Richard Neville, the Earl of Warwick, isn't very happy with him. And the Earl of Warwick has a cool name. It's Kingmaker. So, Richard isn't very happy with Edward's choice of wife because instead of choosing to marry due to politics, he decides to marry due to love, and he marries Elizabeth Woodville, who is a commoner. Richard Neville then changes sides and supports Henry VI. This is when he defeats Edward IV, captures him, and puts Henry VI back on the throne. Edward IV eventually escapes with his brother, Richard, and they return to France. This doesn't last very long because Edward IV is back and he defeats Warwick the Kingmaker at the Battle of Barnet and ends him. Next is the Battle of Tewkesbury where he captures Henry VI's son, Edward, and unalives him. This seems to be the end for the Lancastrians. As for Henry VI, because he is a bit of a risk to Edward IV, he is unalived in the Tower of London. But the drama isn't over. There's a time of peace, and Edward IV passes away in 1483, and he puts his son, Edward V, on the throne. However, Edward's brother, Richard, decides he wants to be king and names himself Richard III and becomes King of England. And the two boys, his two sons, Edward IV's two sons, suddenly disappeared. And then in 1485 comes Henry Tudor. That's right, another Henry. And he takes on Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field. This is where Richard III is defeated and actually unalived in the battle. Interesting fact, only 3 English kings have been unalived in battle. Can you name them in the comments? And he becomes Henry VII. And then he marries Edward IV's daughter, and this creates the Tudor dynasty. Hope you enjoyed.